In this episode, I give you my first impressions of installing this sound deadening material and try to install carpet on Project Ford Fairmont. Okay, so as you're able to see, I got the whole interior cleaned out of all extracurriculars and loosened or took out the seat belt attachment points, and so now I'm ready to start pulling this existing carpet. But before we do that, let's get a rundown of where the budget starts in this episode. Okay, as you recall from last episode, the budget now sits at $2,162.46. remaining of the original $4,000 total project budget, installing both Killmat sound deadening product. It's sort of like a Dynamat generic brand, so I'm excited to see how well that goes. It is only 50 mil thick, but that cost me $15.45. If you want to know how I got a steal on that, watch past Tuesday's live stream. I kind of go into some more budgetary rules and tell you how I got a deal on Killmat. And then we are installing a brand new ACC carpet kit, which came in at $269.45. And also, when I was cleaning out this car, I found 12 cents within it, so I'm adding 12 cents back into the project total. So that brings this episode's total of the remaining $4,000 down to $1,877.68. But let's get back to installing this carpet. Okay, now before I go and yanking this carpet out the rest of the way, what I've done is take a note with the Sharpie where the extents of the stock carpet went. Now, it winds up being right on this seam or this crease, so that'll be easy to remember, but just so in case the new one's longer, shorter, whatever, I have a reference point and I don't have to throw this thing back in. But and then I need to get vacuum cleaner and clean out under the seat here before I get too far. But let's get to yanking this nasty thing out. I mean, I cannot wait to get rid of this disgusting carpet. Again, earlier in the week I have already pulled the threshold trim at the doors, loosened up the side panels here, taken out a couple screws, but let's just get to yanking this thing out. Okay, so old carpet is out. I did forget I had these kick panels. I had one extra screw to undo, but we got that and it came out pretty easy. I'm still just astonished and how good a shape these floor pans are. I got lucky for a first project car, and I am grateful for that. But I'm gonna go get the vacuum and get this cleaned up, start prepping the surface for the kill mat. You can tell the factory has some sound deadening in different spots already, so that's gonna make my 25 square foot kit, I think I'm gonna get a little extra mileage out of it, so I don't have as much bare sheet metal to address. But we will go get that. We'll get this thing cleaned up. I've got a couple other panels too I want to clean up for good. It's gonna be easier to do it in here now than when I get everything back in. So I'm gonna get a rag and a bucket of water and that kind of stuff, and we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. Okay, we're all vacuumed out now, and it's ready for me to start laying out the kill mat product, square footage wise. I'm just still blown away how good a shape these floorboards are in, you guys. But before I get too far ahead of myself, I do want to now lay out the old carpet next to the new carpet and try to inspect for any differences, or try to anticipate maybe where I'm going to have to cut holes, or if they're already pre-cut, those types of things. So first things first, I just want to make sure it's going to be a smooth installation before I get going. So I'm going to go roll out the two carpets side by side. So here are the two products side by side, and actually the new carpet appears to be either the sun really took out that much pigment of the old carpet, or it's an entirely different color. I'm a little scared about that. I mean, I think the color is going to go with the rest of the interior. So again, for my first project car, like if this was something I was building for keeps, I'd probably send it back or try to do more research or something. I think this will do just fine for this build. But yeah, I mean, you can just see a noticeable difference now. One thing I did notice when I went to the upholstery shop for the headliner, when I was trying to find my seat pattern, it did not show up in the 1978 book. It was in the 1977 book. And this pattern, I think, was actually called out to be for a Ford F-150 Explorer package. So I almost wonder if maybe this car was just produced so early in the production run in 1977 for the new model year that they were using old, you know, former line stuff before the Fairmont got its own, because on the ACC's website you can refine your search by year specific. So when I went to 1978, this was the only color that was anything close to what mine was, and so, which was chamois, C-H-A-M-O-I-S-E. I've been told you pronounce it chamois. Thought that was a joke at first, but a second person told me the same thing. But anyway, so I'm almost wondering if that's what happened, similar to the seats. This may have been just such a unique color to the early production run cars. I don't know. Just a theory, but it looks like side by side, laying them out, looks like a pretty good match. So I'm gonna throw it in there after I get the kill mat done, and it looks like I'm gonna have to cut every hole myself, which is okay. But just now mentally, I kind of know what I'm in for. I'm gonna do a little bit of research as I was pulling out the old stuff. Thanks to my neighbor mowing the lawn there. It's probably hard to hear for you guys. There were some spots that I had to yank on, so it appears that they do use some sort of adhesive for the carpet backing, but just minimal, just kind of spot adhesive. Here's you can see the new carpet's got its own padding on it. But anyway, time to lay out some kill mat. Okay, bonus track here. Weather stripping. This little part is degrading, so it's nice and sticky, being the rubber product that it is. I sat on this during filming, and later when I was filming the carpet side by side, I leaned up against the back quarter panel of the car, and from my hip, or my butt, right here, I got two big spots on the back quarter panel. Hit it with a tiny bit of acetone just to kind of break down a little bit. Then I started wiping it with a rag that wasn't coming off, and so I just have a magic eraser I've been using for cleaning the inside, and look at that, it just comes right off. So should you find yourself in one of those situations, I could sell you this for $19.95. No, Magic Eraser seems to work, so little pointer there. Okay, so the kill mat instructions tell you to sort of dry lay out your pattern. For the car, I have 6 sheets stuck in here at the moment. Looks like 2, 1, 2 is going to work just great for the length. I think this will be plenty to wrap up and over the chair mount. And then I think I'll be able to get by with cutting this guy in half to do right up against both of these. The kit comes with 12 sheets, and so I think I'm gonna have plenty. In fact, depending on how much I have left over, if any of you viewers want to buy the rest off of me, that's gonna help with my budget, obviously. So feel free to hit me up in the comments, and we can negotiate maybe a deal there. But I know I'm going to use more than 6 sheets for sure too, because I want to get these, you know, like I want to cover this up, and then we've got right up in here as well. But I think I've got plenty, at least, where I don't have to worry about just laying it out and being just dead nuts on. And also, of course, where the factory stuff has broken down, I want to patch over that. But I'm going to vacuum sweep this out one more time, get the last bit of crumbs out. I did briefly touch up the floorboards with a rag with a little bit of acetone, and I didn't get crazy with that, one for ventilation reasons, but two, obviously it's going to remove paint if I'm super heavy on that, but I'm just trying to get any sort of crud or adhesive off best I could. But anyway, we'll get to we'll sweep it out one more time, and then get a little more serious about applying this stuff. So here's the first piece of kill mat, laid it in place. Now what they instruct you to do after reading the instructions, obviously you lay out your pattern like I'd already done, but go ahead and try to form it to place before you pull off your backing. That's going to help you out quite a bit. So I have not done that yet, but after we peel the backing off and you kind of do it, not all at once, they recommend. You're then supposed to roll out the foil so that you don't see these little embossments or bevels or what, stamped pattern, whatever you want to call it. Now, I did not buy a roller for this project. I guess I'm lucky I don't have more surface area than this, because if I did, I'd be kicking myself for not buying a roller. So what I have laying around is just this casters, what I'm going to use to roll out these ribs that you can see. So we'll see how that goes. Now I'm in a little bit of a dilemma because I wanted to take the product up and over to the threshold. However, it looks like I'm going to be covering stuff up. There's a wire chase here that I think is just going to be a pain for future use if I go over the top of it. So it won't be continuous, but I will probably come back later and trim out that vertical face later. On the passenger side, back at you, we have brake line coming through, so again, just thinking about the future, even though I probably won't still own the vehicle when either of that stuff fails, it just would not be good. You'd tear up more stuff than, I just feel like this is the smarter idea. Okay, so the only thing left to do now is to trim out the vertical faces of the door thresholds. Like I said, didn't want to cover up the wires on the driver's side, brake lines here on the passenger side. But otherwise, the process went pretty easy. The caster worked pretty good for what I needed it to. And the Kill Mat product, I'm telling you, it was pretty easy to work with. Again, I think I mentioned earlier, it's only 50 mil. I don't know, the real test obviously is going to come when I'm driving on the road again, see how well it's really going to cut the sound of the road. But again, that's part of what this project is for, is I can try these things. It's sort of like an experiment, right? So there's that. But I don't think I won't get the carpet in here this afternoon. When I opened the box and unrolled the whole set, I found instructions in the back, and ACC says they recommend anyway to lay the carpet in the vehicle and kind of let it take its form, help it take its form, you know, lay it over the creases and stuff. At least a half a day before you install it. So I'm just gonna leave it overnight here, maybe get back to it on Monday or Tuesday, we'll see, finish it out. But I'm pretty happy with how the sound deadening turned out. And then one other thing, I learned a correction in regards to the budget. So I forgot, actually I found 22 cents in the in the ashtray, so we're gonna add another 10 cents back into the budget. But also I forgot in last episode, so I took my base figure from the beginning of the episode, but because of the contact cement, which was another $14.50, we took that out at the end of the episode last go around, so we're going to take out $14.05 because of that extra 10 cents. And so I'm going to get you that new number up here in the corner. I think that's a pretty good day's worth of work. I'll show you one more shot here of the final product. But that's going to do it for this episode. You guys remember, if you want a Pistons tee, link in the description below. That'll do it for this episode. So until next time, peace out.